Hi, I'm ELIZA Jordan, and this is a sample of my on-air clips, as well as some of the work that I've produced. Additional stories can be made available upon request. Coming up on FC TV Journal. You've never met anyone quite like Cody Kirchner.
It's like some people have bad hair days, I have bad blind days.
When friends ask to see his prosthetic eyes, Cody has a surprising response.
I started charging $5 for it. That's how I paid for sodas every morning.
You'll also meet a local artist who's making a name for himself all over St. Augustine's walls.
It blew my mind and beyond anything I ever expected.
And we'll introduce you to an international student here who escaped Colombian terrorists.
We barely made it alive.
Plus, bikers and grandmas spending the day together, palm trees dressed as hula skirts, and more on today's FC TV Journal. Edna Buchanan didn't just hunt down stories at the Miami Herald for 16 years. She was haunted by those that followed her. Here in the nation's oldest city, historic preservation is one of the most important efforts. Because St. Augustine relies on tourism, it must keep its old destinations new for many people to see. A few weeks ago, this parking lot was filled with biker gangs and grandmas taking to the road to make a point. We've all heard of starving artists, but you're about to meet one college student who has left his mark all over the buildings and walls of St. Augustine. Imagine navigating in a sea of students without knowing where you're going. This next student that you're about to meet does this with laughter. Cody Kirchner is a 23-year-old Flagler College history major who lost his eyesight when he was a child. His friends used to fight to be the one to lead him around, and they were fascinated that he couldn't see.
That lasted until probably the middle of middle school, and then it starts to fade and suddenly you start to be different. And that's really the hardest thing to realize, is that you are different and you have to either choose whether you're going to act normal, I try and act normal, or you're going to be a noticeable blind person.
After losing his left eye when he was 2 years old, Cody lost his right eye just a year later.
First it was cancer of the retina in my left eye, and they tried to treat that with radiation and it failed. So they enucleated, which basically is a fancy word to say they took out my eye. It spread to my right eye, and they had to take that out too.
He wears prosthetic eyes, which he's developed a sense of humor about.
When I was in high school, people would request for me to do that maybe 10 or 12 times a day. So I started charging $5 for it. That's how I paid for sodas every morning.
It's been his sense of humor that's helped Cody live a life that he enjoys.
But you kind of have to do that. You have to learn to laugh at what you have. I mean, you can either be really, really depressed, or you can learn to laugh at the cards you've been dealt. I choose to laugh at it.
Cody decided to attend Flagler College because the campus is easy to navigate, and he likes the advantages of a small school.
I do. I love Flagler. I love the history of Flagler. It's a small college, so I'm not a number in a crowd, basically. I don't have any assembly classes where I walk in and it's a room full of 300 students and they just throw PowerPoints up there and you write down what it says. There's none of those here. So I walk into a classroom and the professor knows me.
History professor Leslie Keys says Cody was one of her top students.
He was prepared, he understood, he didn't ask for extra time to do anything, which a number of students, whether they're disabled or not, have asked for assistance in that fashion.
Cody says his life is no different than most college students, like calling his friends to go to the movies. How does he see what's going on? He has a special program on his computer that allows him to navigate the internet. And he loves to read.
If I'm lucky, I can get a book in Braille, but now it's mostly audiobooks, which I don't really like that much because I don't get to use my imagination for what the voices would sound like.
Cody doesn't like clothes shopping because he has to rely on others for input, but his own brand of fashion relies on his sense of smell. He has quite a collection of cologne.
Basically, it's the only part of fashion that I can do on my own. I can actually go to the store. There's a little store on St. George Street that I can walk into, say, hey, I'd like to see Givenchy, or I'd like to see Armani, and they will hand me just a bottle and I can go, oh, I like that or I don't like that. Whereas opposed to clothes, I have to take a sighted person and go, what color is this? Do I look good in that color? So on and so forth. So it's the only part of fashion I can do by myself, and I like doing things by myself.
Cody's constant companion is his seeing eye dog Googie, who keeps him from bumping into things in his path.
There are times when I feel like the stereotypical blind person, and I act like a stereotypical blind person. I have bad blind days, like some people have bad hair days. I have bad blind days when I can't seem to walk straight, or I walk into doors, or the scourge of my life is doors left half open.
But there is still one place where it is possible for Cody to see.
Blind people, for the most part, myself included, actually see in their dreams. I can't tell you if we see correctly, like, I could see blue and it's actually green or something, I don't know. But I see in my dreams as if I could still see. I don't know why we can still see in our dreams. Even people who have never seen in their life can do it.
And Cody has dreams for the future as well.
I always picture myself, like a wife, 2 kids, a nice early century brownstone Rockwell painting.
Kiss 108, it's the Friday Hot 7 guest DJ.
Hey, I'm Eliza with the number 5 song for your Hot 7 at 7 tonight. Usher's got it with more on Kiss 108.
Thanks for watching. Information about how to contact me will follow. I'm ELIZA Jordan.